All right, so today I'm going to be breaking down SooWei Goh's $408,000 per month sales funnel. So I'm going to be going into detail on his exact IG page strategy, his second underground IG page that he's using to absolutely nurture the hell out of the leads, the 7-11-4 strategy that makes his entire YouTube function like a absolute killer flywheel, as well as the landing page, hosting, analytics, tracking, and the form submission analytics, as well as all of his qualification that he does, along with the confirmation and pre-call reminders, as well as everything in between. So without any further ado, let's just get straight into the funnel breakdown. Essentially, SooWei does a big, heavy top of funnel strategy on the Instagram with a more middle of funnel, bottom of funnel on the YouTube. So essentially, his Instagram works as follows. He has 123,000 followers. He targets the dream follower, which means that he's targeting a very broad audience that might not all be able to buy from him, but instead they will include his ICP. Essentially, the dream follower is not the ICP, right? That every dream follower does not equal an ICP follower, right? But every single ICP follower is a dream follower, if that makes sense. So it's like a little bit of a set of people that are actually going to convert, while this outer set is just going to come into his funnel from the actual videos and not actually buy. The reason he does this is because if you attract your dream follower, you're more likely to attract more of your actual ICP, and you can get far more people through this method than you could by just kind of going straight for just the ICP, because it is too niche for you to actually go crazy and blow up. You know, the founder, he says, you know, founder of Go Consulting, which is a little bit of social proof right there. And then of course you're going to see these a lot, that you have a lot of mutuals with this guy, which is instantly going to be a metric ton of credibility. Like, for example, I personally have 32 mutuals with this guy, right? So clients have, these story highlights are super simple. He has clients, fun, YouTube, and he always keeps the clients, the latest clients, story highlight, whereas social proof first. Then fun is a little bit about himself. He is personalizing. He's very good at showing his personality online. And remember, this is a personal brand, so obviously show your personality, right? Show a little bit of it. If you're a service provider, even then you can show a little bit of it. You know, people want to know who you are. It's just being vulnerable a little bit, show your story, all that jazz. For him, it's fun right here, which is kind of just showing his daily life, the fact that he enjoys his life, all the good stuff. YouTube is a funnel straight into the YouTube where they're going to get nurtured. That's why I have this arrow right here. They're going straight into the YouTube from there. And then for the client story highlights, of course, they're pretty self-explanatory, all social proof. He always keeps them in this order. And the easiest way to do this is essentially when you add a new story highlight, right before that, you can just go ahead and edit your fun and YouTube ones, remove and then re-add a story. It's going to make it so that they all go to the front, and then you can add the new client story highlight right in front of them, and that's going to keep the order as follows. So that's a little bit of a tidbit for you. Now for their actual content, he's making super simple content, right? It's very high production. You will notice that. So it's very premium, super high quality. That's what you want to focus on on content. Don't focus on quantity, right? I mean, there's two extremes you can really go to. You know, there's a metric ton of quantity that you can go for, which is talking heads, and those work, right? It's not like those don't work. People are making millions a month off of just talking head content. Then there's also the other end of the spectrum, which is just going all in on quality and not focusing all in on quantity, right? That would be the other type of content that he's making over here, super high quality, and he's getting quite a few views on here, you know, 17,000, and his more popular ones are getting, you know, 80,000 and something similar to those amounts. So he's getting a lot of views, right? Far more than he would be getting on the YouTube. That's why this stuff absolutely crushes, because he's getting a metric ton of eyeballs on him every single day, because he's posting super consistently, basically every single day, constantly, over and over again, with new content coming out regularly. Now, he has three main types of content that I mentioned a little bit about earlier, but essentially they are the talking head high productions. Then there are the clip content, the natural clips, where he's basically teaching someone. He has some B-roll on top. This is a similar kind of content to what I would post on IG, and it's the easiest type of content because you already have made the content. You just need some VA to come in here, find the best clips, and then go ahead and clip those up. Or you can even use AI systems similar to what we have for our clients, where we can go ahead and clip up their entire calls, clip up their entire YouTube videos, everything like that into actual Instagram Reels to go ahead and grow their personal brand without them having to do extra stuff. And this is again provided to our clients in the program. So along with that, you can go for either a VA or something similar to that AI system, or just work with us and we'll have it done for you. On top of that, there is the different type of content, which is the super raw and authentic stuff, which is this one right here. So a talking head video where he's kind of just looking at the camera and he's just yapping to the camera, right? And you'll see this pattern repeated over and over again. And a little bit of lifestyle stuff is sprinkled in, which is just kind of showing the story, right? This is not conventional, hey, look at my Lambo, it's amazing. It's more of the style of, hey, I started here this is where I'm at. It's an amazing thing for me to be able to live this life. And that builds a metric ton of connection with the person, right? A lot of people confuse lifestyle with, hey, oh, just show all the flashy cars and all that. The only reason, though, people care about your Lambo, the only reason that your Lambo matters, though, is because of the story behind it. If you were a kid when you were younger, you know, you were on your story or on your Instagram reels, you were saying, hey, I'm coming up, you know, waking up at, 8 a.m. every single day, working for like 12 hours straight, and I'm going to get this Lambo, right? If you said that years ago, and people know that about you, the only reason that Lambo matters is because of the story behind it. People relate to stories, not objects. So the only reason people will care about it is because of your story. So if you're doing something like that right now, where you're just flexing stuff and flexing your watches, flexing your lifestyle, stop doing that. Instead, show your story behind it. Always tie it to a story, tie it to the person behind it, because that is what people care about. It's a personal brand. You know, you need to understand that it's a personal brand for a reason. Person behind it is the number one thing that matters. Now, when you see, founder at Go Consulting, you'll see that obviously he has no bio. And a lot of people advise you to have 3-line bios, 2-line bios. And there's all of it works, right? Every single one works. But specifically how he's doing his bio is essentially founder at Go Consulting. You're curious, okay, Go Consulting seems like a company, a little bit of social proof. All right, you want to click on the company. Bam, the page has 40,000 followers. You see a bunch of mutuals and you go ahead and see, hey, this is actually what they do in the actual bio over here. And you'll also notice that this will qualify people a little bit as well, because people that have enough intent to go ahead and click on that link right there are the only people that are going to come here, and most probably those people are going to go ahead and read through this entire bio, look through maybe a few of the story highlights, and maybe even just a few of the Instagram reels, right? They have higher intent than the person that just looks at the main bio. But either way, essentially, this makes it so that you click on this, you give him a little bit of intent, and he can go ahead and redirect you here, where he can build even more credibility by having a bottom of funnel page specifically dedicated to just showing you social proof for those bottom of funnel leads to actually convert. And you'll see here, there's no actual content that is top of funnel. That's why these videos are getting far less views, and that's why he has all story highlights of his clients. There's the logo as the profile picture, all story highlights of each of his clients, that got crazy results over 6 figures. Danny, Hans, Jay, Cruz, Prob, all of these guys, and there are far more that are just all the way at the back, and you just can go through each and every single one of these, and he can relate the story of how this person started and how they got to where they're coming to. And you're going to notice that it's always coming back to a story. You need to tell a story. With your personal brand, you need to tell a story. With your funnel, you need to tell a story. People relate to stories. People don't care about objects or ideas or anything in between. They just care about stories. They think in stories. And same thing with these YouTube videos or these clips and these Instagram reels. They're all bottom of funnel, middle of funnel, value-based, highly detailed, value-based specific videos, or they're just case studies and client testimonials from people that have been in the program and have gotten actual results. So that's all it really boils down to. From here, though, he's going to redirect you to the YouTube again, because always all roads lead to the YouTube. There's no way people are going to convert only off of Instagram unless they just very quickly convert, right? He has a very good ecosystem, so it's very likely for people to do that for him. But the leads you're going to get from IG are going to be shit. They're going to be low intent, and they're going to be low effort. They're going to suck. You're going to have to realize that in the future, sooner or later, or you've probably already realized it if you already have an IG personal brand. They're gonna suck ass. You want them to come to your YouTube, and that's why when I go to the later funnel, you'll notice he has YouTube videos redirecting in his funnel, right? In his emails, he's sending YouTube videos. In his actual main funnel, he's sending YouTube videos. He's showing you long form pieces of content because he wants you to be nurtured. He needs you to be nurtured. You need to realize that, because if you nurture someone, right, it all comes down to essentially what's called the 7-11-4 rule, right? People need to watch 7 hours of your content across 11 different touch points across 4 different locations for them to actually buy. And you need to keep this in your mind at all times. It's a very simple rule that if you use this for every single piece of content that you make, it will make content creation a much simpler and much easier and much more straightforward job than it would be otherwise. And that does bring us to the YouTube, where you get the absolute king of nurturing, which is, again, the actual long form content. So 28,000 subscribers. He ran his, and this is basically his bio has his full story. Again, we're coming back to stories, right? I'm not going to go, chew your head about it, but again, stories, stories, stories. In the bio, he also has the links to his goconsulting.com YT bio. As you can see, this is for tracking. And he also has the link to his Instagram, where he has obviously all the social proof and all that jazz, the bottom of funnel stuff. He has a little bit on the YouTube as well, of course, but the main thing is that he also wants you to go here, check out all the personalization, check out his understanding of his personality, his stories, what he posts, what he talks about, kind of get to know him a little bit better, if that makes sense. Now, once you go ahead and check out his YouTube channel and his actual content, you'll see that the main stuff he makes is super raw and authentic. Raw and authentic in the sense of the titles, the thumbnails. They're all super simple. They're all relying on 3 main elements that all just need you to go ahead and click, right? They just build a little bit of curiosity. Super raw and authentic title, super raw and authentic thumbnail, big claim. You call his bullshit. You check the video, you realize he knows what he's talking about, and you watch through the rest of the video. It all comes down to that simple fact. All the videos follow a very similar strategy, which is just clients learning from him, masterminds where he was at, where he's giving these content masterclasses, subconsciously building authority throughout. He's always subconsciously building authority, because if you're seeing someone who's learning from this guy, then that means if you check out that other person's channel, or you know this other person and you think that they're a respectable, smart human being, you probably think, hey, this other dude is probably even smarter than them. That sounds pretty cool. They're probably even better than this guy, and I trust them a lot more now. Because you transfer a lot of the credibility and the brand that you have from this other person straight over to the new guy, which in this case is, of course, SooWei Goh. Now, from the YouTube, you want to always funnel the people straight into the landing page, because from here, you just want them to go straight into your landing page after looking at all these nurture assets, right? And that's what he's doing. The first link is the landing page. The secondary link is the Instagram for those who want to get to know him better. And in the landing page, you're going to see coaches and consultants. We will help you install our $408,000 a month organic content workflow. A little bit of a typo there. So you can sign clients consistently with organic content. And you're going to see a button right here. I'm ready to scale. I haven't tested if button before VSL works better. He's probably testing this. I don't know. I can't speak on it. But interestingly, he's decided to put the button before the VSL instead of after the VSL, as you normally would. Step 1, watch the video below. You know, this is the kind of tracking software he's using is Vitalytics. Really good software. I do also use Vturb. Now, both of them do the same thing similarly. Vturb has a bit more features, I would say. Vitalytics is just a cleaner UI, cleaner, more refined. So it depends on what kind of person you are, how much data you want, and what exactly you want to track, you know? Step 2 is obviously booking a call with our team. And this is going to be a Calendly link, you know, Calendly booking page. And I'm going to break this down in terms of the questions he's going to ask in a moment as well. But for the rest of the landing page, it's essentially going to be the confused prospect does not buy. So you want to make the prospect less confused. Essentially how you're going to do that is you're going to give them the understanding that they're going to get genuine value on the strategy call. So how does he do that? Well, he shows, hey, this is going to be a personalized breakdown, right? Personalized roadmap, full walkthrough, all that jazz. Like it's basically showing that, hey, I'm going to give you as much value as physically possible on this call. It's never showing the actual sales part of the call, because most of the call is going to be sales, right? But you're also going to get a lot of value from it. So he's just kind of highlighting the value parts, because business owners think in terms of value, while consumers think in terms of emotions. So you got to realize that if you're selling to business owners, you want to go ahead and give them or win them over logically with value, and then on the sales call, you can kind of win them over emotionally just by giving them value, because that is how they're going to be won over. It's not going to happen any other way. With consumers, it's a very emotional sale, and that's why you got to go ahead and tiptoe around a lot of the emotions, the tone, the tonality, the way you talk, the way you think. With business owners, be direct and just get to the point and fucking give them value, and they will either work with you or they won't. It does if they think you have enough value to actually give them. So that's what SooWei is doing right here. He just wants you to know that, hey, this call is going to be valuable. It's not going to be a waste of an hour of your time, which could be worth upwards of $1,000, right? Over 100 successful case studies right here. And these are all the people that he has obviously scaled to very high levels. And they're probably the biggest people that he's scaled. You know, you might know a lot of these people as well, like, you know, Create Content Club, you know, Jake Seals, Andre Wolf. You might know Wyatt Webber, like all these guys. You probably know a lot of these people. And that, again, gets authority. You know, Casper SMC, I even made a funnel breakdown on him, and you will go ahead and build authority through that facet of it as well. And so many more, kind of just hints that obviously there are way more. After that, there are the video testimonials. Now, a lot of people don't put video testimonials on their page, and that isn't a smart way to go about it. Why? Because video testimonials are the most realistic form of testimonials as possible. They're the most believable form, and they're also the form that makes people want to work with you the most, because you're there with your client, you're able to show off your personality while talking to your client, and they're able to share the story. They're able to share the relatability. They're able to share where they were before, where they wanted to get to, why they joined, what they felt before they joined, which a lot of the time can handle the exact objections people are facing before they buy your specific product as well. And I wouldn't go for just video testimonials. Obviously, I would vary it, right? For example, our clients' funnels have screenshot testimonials. We might have Trustpilot if they already had that set up. We might have something similar along those lines, right? Discord message screenshots, everything in between. Like, you can put different types of social proof. As you add variety, the social proof becomes more and more believable. But if you're going to choose one, it would be video testimonials for me, because it is simply the most believable form of testimonial on earth. For the form, you're going to see enter details, and here you're going to enter obviously your details of first name, last name, email, phone number. And what he's going to ask then is, after asking these kind of contact details, he's going to ask you to describe your business, essentially. And this is because he has a very large number of business owners that could be coming to him, and he wants to know how they would describe their own business in their own words instead of trying to give them a one-size-fits-all solution. So you fill this out super quickly. What is your current monthly revenue with your business? Multiple choice. And you want to keep most of your questions multiple choice. If you have a problem with lead quality, add more of these questions where they have to think a little bit. Why? Because that will remove the crappy quality leads, but give you overall less leads on the outset or on the other end of the actual form. So you got to pick your poison. If you have a lot of lead quality, right, then you want to go for the multiple choice questions. If you have a low lead quality, then you want to add the longer form thinking questions where you have to, or open-ended questions essentially like this, the short text or long text within type form specifically. So here, you just ask, what is your current monthly revenue? What is your target monthly revenue, ballpark, all that jazz? What is stopping you from achieving that monthly revenue goal? So he just asks you what you think your issue is in your own words. Again, an open-ended question, so he's probably trying to go ahead and cut out a few of those people as well. On a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to investing in yourself right now if it is a good fit? Super simple question. He just doesn't want 10 options, so he doesn't do multiple choice. We only ask this because we offer high-ticket services. If everything went according to plan, how much could you invest into your business right now? I recommend everybody add this kind of question in, and on a default form, I would always add this. If you see that people are chickening out on this or lying on this, which most people will, honestly, but if they're actually just lying on it or just bouncing off of the form on this question, I would just remove that question and test something else. Maybe you test a different wording. But this question is a very important question to add on your form because it will tell you the biggest indicator of lead quality that you really have. Finally, have you watched our YouTube videos and client interviews? Yes, I'm familiar. No, but I'll check it out. Again, both options make it so you always look at it subconsciously, small little change. And you want to link them to your YouTube videos and client results. That's one thing I noticed he wasn't doing in his confirmation page, right? He already has a bunch of nurture assets with these client testimonials, but he doesn't link his YouTube. I would recommend he put a YouTube video at the bottom of the page. So all the way at the bottom here, you add an inline YouTube video link for your favorite YouTube video or the most valuable YouTube video generally that got you the most conversions, essentially. And then lastly, are you the sole decision maker? This is a big question. Ask this if you're selling to business owners. Then finally, you schedule the event. These kind of all handle a separate objection, and they also give SooWei enough data for him to actually see if he wants to hop on the call with these people or not, right? And you can even, like, the type form or the form questions are very variable depending on the lead quality that you're getting. If the rest of your funnel is getting you crappy lead quality, you have to focus on your form a little bit more. If you're getting good lead quality, well, then just keep your form as short as possible. I personally have quite literally like 2 questions on my form, just contact information for who this person is, because everybody that's hopping on this call with me personally is going to be qualified already. So I already understand that. And so I don't have an issue with qualification. But if you do have one, you want to add those questions as you get those issues, as you face those issues in the future. So after that, there's the confirmation page, which is your call is not confirmed. This gets their attention. They're like, wait, what happened? And that's the kind of hook. They make you watch a short video. And when you're doing B2C, B2B, right? B2B is going to be super simple in the sense that you want to go into detail on the, you want to handle the logistics first, right? So, hey, check your email, do this, blah, blah, blah. Show the visuals, reply yes to confirm the event so it shows up on your calendar. All that jazz. And on B2C, you can just cut it off right there, right? Just cut it off right there and say, hey, look at the frequently asked questions and look at the video testimonials. And also, of course, thank them for booking a call and say, hey, you did a big step. You took a big step in your journey, and I'm really proud of you. Whereas in B2B, I would recommend you actually go into detail on your process and what you're going to go over on the call, because it can make it more believable that you're going to give them value on the call. And a lot of the time it can make it so that more people hop on this call. And you're going to see, prepare for your call by watching the video above, be in a quiet place, and check out our client stories. This is for those people that might not have watched the video yet, and they might dismiss the video. This is another CTA to say, hey, you should watch the video because we're going to ask you this on the call. Frequently asked questions is essentially objection handles, really just stuff that you see on the calls that are objections, just word them in a way that turns them into a question, put them on this page, and go ahead and make a video answering them. Keep it under 30 seconds, honestly, maybe maximum a minute for each and every single one. And these can be done real quick, right? Client testimonials are just the client testimonials that you have, full long form videos. You can go up to 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever length you have. Put every single one of your client testimonials on here. If you have too many, then keep roughly 6 to 8 max right here, and go ahead and use your best client testimonials, the ones that people can also relate to. And you want to have a lot of variety in client testimonials is one thing as well. You'll notice that he has a very large variety of ethnicities, cultures, and different people that have different backgrounds on these actual video testimonials. You'll see, you know, there's women, there's men, there's Frenchmen, there's people from the UK, there's people from the US, there's people from Asia. There are literally every single type of person possible. There's people with 100,000 followers, people with 10,000 followers, people with 1 million followers, everything in between. There's people that started at 0, there's people that started at $500, there's people that started at, you know, a good amount, which is like 100K, almost 100K, 70K, you know, 20K, all that jazz. There's a very big variety of student results, and all of them were massive transformations. And the reason you want to do this is because you want to make it so that the student on the other side is as relatable as possible for the student or the potential student that you have on this page. Because if they relate to this person, they're more likely to believe that this person actually got the results, and they're more likely to believe that they themselves are going to be able to get those results if they actually work with you. And simply, once you've done this, right, the funnel is essentially over. Because on the back end, right, there's email sequences, there's value testimonials, there's emails, but I cover those in the rest of my videos as well. So essentially, if you want to make these emails absolutely crush from the get-go, work with us. If you want to figure it out yourself, super simple, watch a few of my videos on my channel, and you should get the gist of a little bit of how you want to go for emails, and go ahead and go through trial and error for a few months from there, and you'll be able to get to a certain point that is acceptable for the emails. But essentially, that was the full breakdown of SooWei Goh's $408,000 per month sales funnel. Hope you got a ton of value from that video. If you're a coach, consultant, or an agency owner, or a creator of any form that has an audience, I'll leave a link in the description to be able to book a one-on-one call with me to go over exactly what we could be doing for your coaching business. The call is going to go very, very straightforward. Essentially, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and have you hop on, and we're going to go over exactly what is going on in your coaching business, where you think the bottleneck is. We're going to go ahead and pinpoint that, and I'm going to tell you the exact way you're going to fix that to add another, you know, 20 to 30% onto your top line revenue. You're going to realize I know what I'm talking about. You're going to ask me to pitch you. I'm going to pitch you, and we're going to see if we want to move forward at the end of the call. It's going to be super simple, no pressure at all. And without any further ado, hoping to see you on that call, and goodbye.